and it makes you so upset that you have to go comment negative or write them something like you're tough or anything like this. How the f does that happen? You guys need to wake up. These are very big time squares. Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. Did you hear what he said? I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna talk shit. UFC fighting is gay. Like all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights. Like they never whooped ass their whole life. Have a good day, you sensitive little fucking bitches. We'll be over here not responding by name or by piece of content to the world because we have our own thoughts and we can articulate what we don't agree with on our own without a crutch, you slow, dumb fucks.
Well guys, it looks like we are just somehow back once again with our weekly update on everyone's favorite lolcow. Good old Wesley Peg Watson. And I wasn't even planning to do a weekly update on this complete man-child this week, considering that we already covered him twice at the beginning of the week, where we just got to watch him completely freak out, and went ahead and took a look at him getting banned on Instagram, and then making the terrible decision to go ahead and call people fucking monkeys.
Why don't you put some fucking cocoa butter on your head and on your ashy knees? She don't f with you, bro. JoJo. I bet you understand what JoJo looks like, you guys. JoJo the monkey, the jumping around monkey man. Like nobody gives a f about people like you, dipshit. A brickle real estate agent lives in fucking the shittiest fucking condo in fucking SLS and gets stuck in that elevator all day. Monkey JoJo. Fuck yeah, jump around, monkey. Don't give a f.
But this guy right here just does not know when to stop, and he has been completely on one pretty much all damn week. Like, it is almost impressive at this point how he just somehow keeps managing to make himself look even dumber on straight up a daily basis. Like, we're not even on a weekly basis anymore. He is topping himself every single day. And this week, when he hasn't been doing things like comparing himself to Jesus, which is just crazy work in its own.
Look how backwards our world has gotten. Look how backwards this world is. You guys will never have the courage to live the word of God because you're too busy protecting yourself. You would have to stand up to so many things that are not right in society if you were gonna really be a man of the truth. Anytime a man went out and spoke the truth loudly, society attacked him. Just like Jesus.
Or sitting here and getting angry about something as simple as Cheesecake Factory when it's supposed to be a relaxing time where he is just having lunch with his family. But instead, I guess he was just sitting there pissed off.
I haven't eaten at a normal restaurant for a long time. And I went to one of those chain restaurants that like families go to. You know, the Cheesecake Factory, okay? The restaurants I go to, they're very quiet. People have f***ing manners, okay? When you go to a poor-ass motherfucking establishment like the Cheesecake Factory, you really realize how little personal development these people have and how oblivious they are, how stupid and arrogant or ignorant they are. They were so f***ing loud. This was the loudest place I've ever been in.
He has been stupid enough to go ahead and basically call out every UFC fighter and basically claim that they can't really fight. So the ego is just hitting new highs to where the man might actually believe that he is on the same level as Jesus. And I mean shit. You just heard him say it himself. So that's not even a crazy ass claim for me to make. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight on into it and look at all of the comments that he's made, along with the aftermath that of course followed. And then we'll take a look at how this complete goober decided he was gonna respond to all of the criticism. So let's just waste no more time and see what the Peginator here has to say for himself.
Don't encourage anyone to run up to these pro fighters. Pro fighters are pussies, okay? They're only good in the ring. People I know will not accept a loss, okay? If a pro fighter did his jujitsu on him, then the guy's gonna come back and duct tape his family, okay? You don't want to fuck with the wrong people. And the wrong people out here in the world are not pro fighters. You guys need to wake up. These are very big time squares. Pro fighters are the epitome of squares. They're like, come in the ring and I'll fight you. The people I grew up with and went to prison with, they don't give a fuck about a ring. They don't give a fuck if they're on camera. They don't give a fuck if they have to fucking live the rest of their life in prison. You will not beat them. They will not take a loss. You guys live in a fantasy world where pro fighters aren't the biggest squares on the planet.
So let me just put into perspective the argument that this guy just started out with and started trying to push forward. And that is that pro fighters are apparently pussies because they fight in the ring and aren't going to duct tape your family up if they end up losing the fight. So we are just using absolutely no logic here. I don't know how this man thought he was cooking right here, but he's under the impression that a pro fighter is only useful when he's in the ring, when in reality, there are so many rules in the ring that is limiting them from actually killing the other guy that it's not even funny. Like, there is no way in hell that Wes Watson here would stand a chance against a pro fighter. This guy would have better odds of being tall enough to ride at the amusement park. He would get worked around in a circle, and then, like he said, would be pussy enough to resort to going after your family instead of just taking his ass whooping like a man. So it is already delusional enough as it is, and he's already just out here doing anything to look as hard as possible, to where he's saying that he's just gonna whoop these pro fighters' asses, but somehow it just continued to get even more dumb.
UFC fighting is gay. Like, all that shit, like MMA fighting and all that shit is for people who never really were in fights. Like, they never whooped ass their whole life. So they're always like, I'm gonna train and fight. Like, I've always just handled shit very easily. I never had to think about fighting because I always just extinguished the problem however I had to. So the point is like, that's for people who like never could really fight. They had to go learn to fight. I mean, people who just handle business, they don't have to learn to fight. There's a difference between fighters and violent people. You should really stay away from violent people because it doesn't matter how good you are at fighting when they want to take it to the level. They'll take you out. And so there's a huge difference here. You guys have it all misconstrued. Fighting is some weird sport shit that is all these people do, and it has nothing to do with violence because a violent person will end your life. And this is the thing. You guys need to quit thinking that UFC people are going to be able to fight with violent motherfuckers because a violent motherfucker won't lose. He won't take it. And you'll be like, wait, put the gloves on. And he's not going to hear it. And it's going to be a problem for you.
And you just have to love how you can visibly see Angie realizing just how stupid of a statement that her man just made. You can tell that she's not even buying this complete bullshit that he is just spurting out. Like, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. The levels of insecurity are just so damn high to where this guy can't even admit that someone who has trained their entire life to be able to fight well would be able to whoop him, or at least just give him a run for his money. He could at least try to admit that. But instead, he tries to make this whole argument about violent people like that's gonna make a difference. This is the same type of logic as when your homie, who you know damn well can't fight, goes, when I'm mad bro, I see nothing but red. Like, what are we even doing here? In reality, Wes is gonna swing for a solid 30 seconds, be gassed, and then get his ass whooped. And of course, after making these abysmally stupid statements that are clearly just driven by pure ego, he of course ended up getting called out by a couple of UFC fighters, with Sean Strickland being one of the first ones to call him out. And he basically just went ahead and humiliated him, and went ahead and said that everyone is just a fitness clown these days, and that you can't keep track with all the damn influencers, which he is not wrong, because we have these Wes Watson clones popping up left and damn right, like they're fucking Pokemon at this point, with each one having their own variant. But Sean also went ahead and in response to being told who Wes was, stated that guys that are into fitness are closeted gays who are too ashamed to jerk off to dudes, so they jerk off to themselves squatting. And we of course have had other fighters, like Dean here, who have also just pointed out how stupid his logic is, and made the point that anyone who wants to be good at anything needs to go ahead and practice it. But I guess this is something that Wes just does not understand, considering that he claims that he is just the most natural badass fighter on the planet, because he is just a violent man. A violent man who is constantly getting bullied by a bunch of Redditors. And after getting humiliated basically all week for these stupid ass statements that are obviously just attention seeking, he of course ended up having a full-on bitch fit and basically a temper tantrum in what I am personally considering as a Sunday meltdown, which started because he couldn't get his Q&A working, so he just went on a random ass tangent.
So I was trying to do a Q&A, but there's major glitches happening on Instagram. So probably go live on YouTube tomorrow, and hopefully we can run a Q&A tomorrow. But you guys, just all my people, stay away from the fucking bitch shit that is this world now, where men just talk about other men because they're so fucking jealous. Never show that card. Never admit you know so much about another man. Never admit you care so much, unless it's in a positive way. But if it's in a negative way, you're just a jealous fucking bitch. And everybody sees it. They're never like, hey, look, this guy lives in a shitty condo and walks to the gym. This guy drives a Bugatti and is killing it. No wonder he's mad. Ha! Ha! Gay!
So after talking about multiple other men in their profession and calling them all lames and squares and basically just insulting everything they've spent their life training for, he then goes on and in typical Wes Watson fashion immediately contradicts himself and talks about how you shouldn't talk about other men. And this is of course fueled by the fact that he's been getting gadooshed all week, and now it's not only by YouTubers and Redditors, but also by UFC and professional fighters. Like, I'm pretty sure he was getting gadooshed in the UFC Reddit now as well. So naturally, he is of course butthurt, and in doing so, he decided that he was gonna hop in his car and just talk about how everyone is so soft nowadays, and basically just go on more little angry small man syndrome rants.
You guys, I know I look young and I'm still fucking handsome, but I'm 41, I'm almost 42. This generation is literally the most sensitive group of bitches I've ever even imagined could exist. How the fuck does someone you don't know say something and it makes you so upset that you have to go comment negative or write them something like you're tough or anything like this? How the fuck does that happen? I see shit all day online that I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's my answer. I don't necessarily agree with that. I've never had someone say something, even if it's directly about me, and ever had a reaction like that. But I get it. I fucking get it. It's not when anyone says anything. It's when someone that outranks you in every way says something. Because it's not actually what they're saying. You're mad at who they are. You're mad that they fucking beat you. Because anyone who's massively beating me never has that reaction. Only the fucking losers who are forced to look at themselves with the mirror that I project. I'm a mirror to them. What I say hurts them because they're not stacking up. But it's okay. If it stings, you need to change, bitch. You don't need to whine, come up with excuses, try to demean the other person. You need to say, hey, that does fit me. It stings because it's the truth. If you're triggered, it's the truth.
What the hell are you talking about? Who you talking to?
And of course, the hypocrisy is just on a completely different level, because Wes here will sit there and say that he never has that reaction, but then turns around and posts videos like this to where he's just yelling at his phone the whole time and being butthurt because someone said something that he didn't like. Shit, we have seen this man get upset because someone said that he had calluses on his feet, and he took it to heart so much that he felt the need to make a video.
Never admit that you zoomed in on someone's feet calluses. God, you're a loser. Don't ever admit that you took that much time to look at anyone's anything.
So he is probably one of the most sensitive people that I think I have ever seen. I mean, the guy got upset because people said he was dyeing his beard, for fuck's sake. And he was still just nowhere near done with his little Sunday meltdown, because this shit had just been building all week as people sat there and made fun of him for his stupid comments that he was constantly making, along with the normal shit about how he has a shrimp dick. So overall, it has just been a very frustrating week for good old Wesley here.
These people out there that you only hear good stuff about, there's never any negative press, they have fake followings and they're not viral, okay? We know from, now look at Ashton Hall, the morning routine guy with the water. He's not saying people got tits. He's not calling them bitches. He's not inciting any type of negativity with his content. But they still call him a scammer. They still ruin his name because they're jealous of his fame. That is it. That is all. And they want to ride off of his name. Did you hear what he said? I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to talk shit. You know females do that, right? You know women are the only gender that goes and ruins someone's reputation, okay? Because that's the only defense they have. But men aren't supposed to do that. Have a good day, you sensitive little fucking bitches. We'll be over here not responding by name or by piece of content to the world because we have our own thoughts and we can articulate what we don't agree with on our own without a crutch, you slow, dumb fucks.
And yeah, instead of responding by name or content, he's instead just gonna get in his car and drive in circles and sit there and just yap about random bullshit and basically just cry the whole time. And no one's ruining his reputation except for himself, because no one's telling him to come out here and call people monkeys, make wild, incorrect statements about UFC fighters, and to start his little scam courses to begin with. He is doing all of this to himself, and if he would just stop responding, I doubt he would get as much as he does now. It's not even because people are upset with him. It's just because it is genuinely funny now for people to just watch him freak out at the smallest little inconveniences and smallest little comments. Because as soon as you say something that he disagrees with, you just get this right here.
You want to know the sad thing? All you guys are so focused on other men that you're not even taking care of your women correctly, and the women are having to stand up and be more of men. So women don't even make videos like that. Only you fucking bitch ass pussies. The women don't even do it. The women love my message because it's mainly about why you fucks are so sensitive, so broke, so pussy, and so weak. And why is it? Because you spend your time focused on other men, not your fucking self. Okay, that's enough of my rant today about our new sensitive generation. Oh, want to know what? You could just step up and win and realize we were here to help you from the beginning. You just didn't see what you needed help in and were too fucking weak to hear the fucking truth when it was finally brought to your attention. Have a great day. Hopefully you guys see the problem and are willing to change.
And if you thought that was the end, you would of course be wrong, because he just had to come right back and do a little bit more yapping, because everyone is just living so rent-free in his head.
This is the best thing. When you guys speak, nobody listens. When I speak, all of you listen, and you send the message all over for me. So I just want to give you guys this thanks for always building me, making me seen, and showing how you are. And then when people come to my page, how amazing I am. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, most of the people that I'm the speaker for have actually been in the trenches. They've actually been through hard shit. They're the more rough around the edges, people who've actually done crime, people who've actually done time, and these squares will never get it. But the fact is squares have their own speakers. They were usually forced to go to church with their mommy and their daddy, and they don't hear a message from people like us because their ego stops them too much. They don't like how much notoriety we get because we're realer. They don't like that we get the praise because we've actually been through it, and they were spoon-fed. This is the difference.
And you just couldn't ask for a more poetic ending for Wes to go ahead and end the weekend off on, where he tries to claim that it's everyone's ego in the way that is causing them not to love his message and to just buy into all of the different bullshit that he is constantly spewing out. When in reality, we have just watched this man's ego lead to him making crazy claim after crazy claim, to where he's compared himself to Jesus, and as you saw earlier, just thinks he's the baddest fighter on the planet. And it looks like he is just going to keep spiraling, which has just been non-stop occurring since his little Instagram ban happened. And we're just going to be here to watch the entertainment as it occurs, because something tells me that no matter what, this guy's just not stopping. But for now, that is enough of this goober, and we have other fake alpha males and other different types of just nuisance streamers to go ahead and cover. So if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and I'm out. Watching Wes Watson just continue to somehow make things worse, in peace.
All you motherfuckers out there that aren't just rushing to your ultimate life, crushing your goals daily, it's cause you're fucking scared little bitches. You don't think you're scared when I say, oh, it's fear, you're afraid. You guys are like, no, I'm not. Procrastination is fear. You won't even get on camera because you're afraid of judgment. You're fucking afraid of, there isn't anything you guys aren't afraid of. The only person that I know for a fact isn't afraid of shit is the man that had fucking limited time and crushed all timelines.